Hello, and welcome to yet another edition of my opinion on Clevenard TV. My name is Franca Idemudia. Now, if you are just joining us for the first time, I'd like to encourage you to sign up of everything you ever needed to make your business work, both in Nigeria and in the diaspora and the entire of Africa. You can make wise use of our blogs. What do you do there? You simply blog your products or your idea and then share it to more than 10 social media platforms and then get large followership. And then to make it more beautiful, it is actually free. Now, aside that, you can actually go to our super shop and sell whatever you want to sell. You're in the diaspora, you want to sell your businesses or your ideas in the African market. All you need to do, upload your products on the Clevenard Super Shop, and every one of them gets to see it there and buy your products. And if you are in Africa, what do? The same thing. Upload your products on the Super Shop as well. And then those in diaspora get to see your products one way or the other. In other way, in whatever way, it is still a win-win for you and in those of us in the business. Thank you so much for that. And today we'll be discussing business, interestingly. Okay, now when most of us start business and encounter one problem or the other, we tend to blame it on so many factors. We give excuses and all that. But at the end of the day, at the end of it all, is it because, or did the business fail because there was one or two things that we should have done or ought to have done that we didn't do? Or were there wisdom that we could have required that would have made our business sustainable that we didn't get? Well, in this interview, you are going to be having questions answered in this interview. Please join me as I make welcome the business expert himself and a professor in one of the universities in Germany. I welcome Dr. Ijeda Courage. Dr. Courage, you're welcome to my opinion.
Thank you so much, Franca. Glad to be on set with you.
Yeah, it's good to have you on board, sir. Could you please tell us one or two things about yourself?
Good. My name is Dr. Ijeda Courage. I am the president and the CEO of Courage Consultants. What do we do at Courage Consultants? We provide expert advice in the following areas. Number one, entrepreneurship and family business. Number two, human capital development. Number three, finance and investment. Number four, how you can develop a competitive edge for your business. And lastly, human or resources development. That's what we do. Aside from that, I'm actually a lecturer in two universities here in Germany. One is the Rheinwald University of Applied Sciences in Clevenard, Germany. And the other one is a business school, and that's the CBS International Business School. Yes, I'm a Nigerian. I schooled in Nigeria. I got my first degree in Nigeria. Then I got my master's and PhD degree awards in the UK. Yes, so that's just a little about me. Yeah.
It's all right. So everything about it is basically business. Now, I want to ask this. When you say business, is there a relationship or are there differences between what you call business owners and then entrepreneurs?
Yes. There is no remarkable differences. I think what we'll do is that let us discuss the context. If you say business, simply put, what you do on a regular basis. It could be your profession, it could be your occupation, it could be your trades. What is the purpose? One, maybe to make profit or to leave a legacy for generation of born or to create wealth. That is business. Then if you're looking at entrepreneur, the only way you can understand entrepreneur is to understand the concept of entrepreneurship. What is an entrepreneurship? I will give you what I will call a generic definition because there is no agreement. It depends on the perspective you are looking at it. If you are saying entrepreneurship, simply put, the process, the step-by-step way in which you start a business or you expand an existing business. Behind this process or processes, somebody is there, and that is the entrepreneur. So if you're saying about a business owner, yes, he could be an entrepreneur. But as your business begin to enlarge, expand, it's possible you bring in non-family members to be part of the business. They can still be owner. It all depends on the share you are giving to them. So the difference is slight, but yeah, that's the way to work, Franca.
That's a good one. I do hope those that have wanted or always wanted answers to that question have gotten their answers today. Now, you're actually a professor and at the same time a businessman. Okay. Now, as an African, how easy or difficult has it been doing business in the diaspora?
Well, business worldwide depends on your passion, depends on the perspective you look at business. It is very easy to do business in diaspora. Let's start that way. I don't want to keep my audience, waiting for answer. It is easy because of the policy environment. It is easy because of your mindset. Because there are things people cannot do for you. If you look at diaspora, for example, they have good policies. If there are questions you want to find out, there are areas you will go to. They have a flexible tax policy. You have light, you have good roads, you have security. So what you need to do is that identify the right opportunity. Business always starts with idea. Idea. If you have idea, then you have to action the idea. Look out for opportunity within your environment in which you learn the idea. Once you are done, you do what you need to do, you just start moving. From my perspective, it is easier to start a business in Europe, in Germany, and just to keep on moving. You are sure. You have political stability, economic stability, and Germany, go for the record, Germany is one of the strongest economy in the world. Here in Europe, almost the strongest in Europe. So it's a good place to start a business, from my perspective. Yeah.
It's all right. Now, your company is into consultancy and then building human capitals.
Yes.
Now, are there references? Can you give us some references of the number of persons with a youth or what that you have actually mentored in this regard?
Oh, I have a lot. Okay, you say youth. Let's start from, I'm a Christian. We have a lot. I once worked in the youth department in our church. So I did a lot building them, guiding them in the right direction. Then we had a lot of business seminar I actually organized. A lot came, the mainstream, Germans, and the non-mainstream. So after the seminar, they will come to me. I will guide them in the right direction. I'll give two fast examples because of time. There's a friend here in Mönchengladbach. He is from Pakistan. I got to his job. I said, how? He said, it's difficult. I left him. The next day, a few weeks again, I went there. Same complaint. As I was leaving, I just got this kind of a prompting assistant. I asked him a simple question. What you have here, which of them do you sell most? What do you say the rate of turnover is very high? He pointed to beans. He said, I said, okay, go. Get a warehouse. Go and do wholesale. He just saw the limitations. I laughed. I told him what to do, how to raise funds. In less than a few months, he bought properties in Spain. I met him again. He was negotiating one in Mönchengladbach. So that's the way it has been. He has moved from the little shop he was to a bigger one. As of today, he has 3 warehouses. One in International Airport, Colobon, one in Charles de Gaulle, the other one in Spain, to coordinate his products. So that's the way it works. Secondly, we still have one from Africa. Let us look at Africa. After my seminar, he came to me. He listed a lot he wants to do. From the list, I just cited 2. I said, you do this, start with this, after which you move. He told me there are bigger players in the industry. I said, yes, I love to hear bigger players, but there are things you will do to develop a competitive edge over those players. I gave him simple tips, simple one. As of today, he employed labor. As of today, he has actually moved into logistic business. The last testimony he told me was, I'm looking for an investor into my business. Aside from this, even students, we had one in my school. He's not in my department, but his friends there. Then he called me, he said, Prof, I want to see you. I said, come over. He tabled what he wants to do. I guided him on business plan, what to do. And I told him, if you do exactly what I'm telling you, you'll get grants from the school. Lo and behold, in our magazine, the school website, his name, his picture was reflected there. Even students, we guided them. I discovered that even the failure rate was very, very high. I called them, I said, look, examination in Germany is easy to pass. They looked at me, I told them what to do. As of today, the story has changed. So when it comes to mentorship, guiding them, we have records. We have amazing testimony. Yeah,
it's okay. In your summary, you did make mention of a competitive edge. Can you throw light on that?
Good. If you are saying competitive edge, what are we talking about? It simply means how to outperform your competitor. Because if you look at whatever business you are doing, you may, let me use that word may, you may not be the player in the field. There are others competing with you. What do? There are ways you can stay on board. You move higher than them, both your competitors and your potential competitors. So what do? We will guide you what to do to stay outperform your competitors. What you can do to expand, to get more customers. Of course, retain your customer and expand your customer pool. We have a lot. For example, I can guide you on differentiation strategy. How do you separate your products, your business from others? There are many things we can guide you to do, and your business will keep moving, stay on board, irrespective of the circumstances. Be it Corona, be it Holocaust, we will guarantee you we'll do what we know best to do, then you just take it up from there. So that's what we do.
It's all right. It's all right. Now we still have. I'm still referring the answers back to you. We still have some persons. Okay, they've gone into one kind of business, and at the end of the day, the business doesn't just go well, or they're having challenges or the other. Now, most of us, especially here in Africa, we tend to bring the God factor into it. So why some tells you that, oh, maybe it is God's business that the business, God's will that the business is not moving. Some begin to blame one supernatural power or the other. Now, is there a place, in running any business, is there any room or place for God's factor in it?
God factor. Are you talking about the divine being?
Yeah, the divine being.
Of course, yes. If you are talking about God, there is a major role to play. I said business starts with idea. How do you get the right idea? Simply through meditation. Simply put, meditation. You need to separate yourself, stay somewhere, and you get the right direction. Okay, like those who are Christians, of course I'm one, we have what we call the leading of the Holy Spirit, who will guide you in the right direction. And you need this, what they call the grace of God in what you do. So God factor has a major role to play in what you do in life. Yeah, a major role to play.
That you've answered us rightly, and I'm okay with that as well, because I actually needed to talk on that. But the angle I was actually taking it from is some persons failing in businesses and then blaming it on the way God wants it to be.
No. The point is this: failure can't even be in your agenda. If you are an entrepreneur, you want to start a business, this failure mindset, I don't even know where it is coming from. There is no reason for you to fail. If you choose to fail, it means you just want to fail. Let me put it that way. How can you fail? Okay, let's assume you said somebody, quote, he failed or she failed in her business. That is not from God. Because if you look at your Bible, God says the plan he has for us is for good, for us to have expected end. And you have testimonies in the Bible to buttress these facts. We still have people, living witnesses like us, to showcase these facts. What I will tell them is this: if your business is not going in the right direction, what you ought to do is analyze, review what you are doing. Okay? If you review, see a lot of solutions. For example, if you have challenges with maybe getting customers, for example, it's not from God. Check your strategy. Then you begin to work in that area, how to get the traffic into your business. Maybe your price is very high. Maybe your product, they are not okay. Maybe your location is not accessible. A lot of factors. Maybe you won't refuse to update yourself. It's like software. You have computer, you have every year you see updates. The same thing you ought to do with what you are doing. It has nothing to do with God. Yes.
It's all right. Thank you so much for that. Now, over the while, we've seen the press and every other person making this statement, assuming and saying that Africa is a consumer nation. Do you agree to that?
Well, if you say consumer nation, what are you talking about? Yes, if you say Africa is a consumer nation, reasonably, yes. But consumer nation has advantage, has disadvantage, because people tend to look at it from a given perspective. You produce your goods, you eat it, you want to live a life that is bogus. Okay, that's how they look at it. Pollution here and there. The goods you are producing, you are eating. Where is the place where it is being produced? If I produce something, for example, I'm not producing to leave it in my house. I'm going to sell it. So people buying my goods, they consume it. Is it a crime? It's not a crime. So they look at it from different perspectives. That is it. So consumer nation, yes, you have advantage, you have disadvantages.
Yes. But can you relate that to its effect on a country's economy? How does this, when you depend so much on foreign product, how does it affect one's economy?
It increases your production, your GDP. Simple. Whatever will increase production in the country, is it bad? Whatever will increase their GDP is not bad. So what we're saying is that you look at it from both perspectives. One way, yes, okay, health issues, it may be bad. If you eat a lot, bad. You may have some issues. But if you look at the contribution to your economy, because now we are discussing business. If you look at the income you are getting, the supply chain here and there, on one side, people are making profits. On the other side, a lot will complain. So that is business for you. Your complaint is a plus to another person. It's like we had issue with Corona. A lot of shops, they were locked up, they closed up, but some companies, they are making money. That is business for you. It's just opportunity, you take advantage of it to make some money.
Yeah, I think the angle I'm trying to bring it up from is this. Now, Nigeria, for example, Nigeria, for instance, imports almost everything we use in this nation. Okay, from toothpick to paste to almost everything. Now, do you think such over-dependence on foreign product is good for the country, for the economy?
It is not good. It's not good. Because the products you are bringing into Nigeria Do we have a chance to produce them? The answer is yes. Governments cannot help us, but there are things they can do. They can create the right environment, policy, good roads, electricity, security for people to invest. So if you have such a stable environment, you don't have reason to import toothpaste, because whoever is doing them in China or in Europe, we can still do them in Nigeria and sell within Nigeria and African market. Even export to Europe, we can do that. So we need the right policy environment that will enable investors to come in, invest, then sell whatever they want to sell within the country and export others.
But now we still await the right environment to do businesses like this. Is there anything that on our own, that Nigerians or Africans can put in place to make sure they start doing this? Because we've waited for the right environment for a very long time, and then it seems not to be in sight. So are there ways around this?
Well, there are things to do. You see, when it comes to business, government cannot give you job. It's not their duty. There are things government should give us. Security. I cannot guarantee Nigerian security. It's not within my power. So when it comes to things like this, government should play their role. Create the right environment. Once it's there, people will come in. For example, I read a country, a convoy of a president was attacked. Which information are you sending to us? It will scare those who attacked the convoy of the president. They are sending a wrong message that people cannot invest in that country. That's it. So government has a role to play, but private investors, they still have a lot of things to do. Give us the right environment, it will attract foreign investor into your country. That's what we should do here.
Okay, now are you of the opinion that the reason we have a lot of brain drain, okay, in the recent times is because of this same environment?
Yes, if you say brain drain, let's look at it from this angle. It's just movement from areas you think you have less opportunities, chances, to areas you think you have more. That answers the question. So if, for example, if I think in Nigeria, I have a PhD, I don't have opportunities to work in Nigeria. And I know if I go to Saudi Arabia, if I go to Ghana, if I go to Uganda, if I go to other countries, this is just what they are doing. So opportunities is what is actually driving the brain drain. A lot of doctors, they went to.
All right. So, but how healthy is that for any growing economy like Africa?
Tentatively, we'll look at it from both sides. You know, I'll look at, as a consultant, I have to look at issue from both sides. I don't want to be looking at the negative side. Good. Tentatively, it could be a problem because people are leaving. But as they leave, what are they going to do? Are they going there to watch television? Answer is no. I'm here in Germany. I'm doing my job. And the little I can do, I support home. As they are leaving, they are in that country, they will learn new skills. They will update themselves. They will make money. Then, some of the money, they'll still remit the money home. Even while they are in the foreign country, they can still get some people they can work with. If the environment at home is okay, bring them there. So on one side, yes. On the other side, at the end of the day, the brain that is draining will still come back to the country and take the country to a higher level. Look at a lot of the sectors. We had our esteemed Ngozi Nkoji-Iweala. He schooled in US. A time came, we needed, I want to use that word, we needed her. She came to the country, helped us to solve a lot of problems. That's the way it works. So it borders down on African nations, the president, the leaders, create the right environment. As they are coming back, they will make positive impact in our nation, in our economy. That's my take on the brain drain. It has positive side, it has negative side. Yeah. Yes.
Is that right? Is that right? Okay, now, let me take us back to the future of business in Africa. Okay, now, for a very long time, Africans, for example, Nigerians, has been dependent on the sale of crude oil and all that. Okay, but now I think most of the countries are shifting away from that because of the effect of ICT. What do you have to say about it?
No, the point is this: depending on a particular product is wrong, very wrong. So what I think, let's start this way. Africa is an emerging economy as of today. That means they are moving towards a developed economy. That means it's just an investment heaven. It's an investment heaven. So when you begin to depend on a particular sector, it is risky. So always insist on diversification. Move into other sector. Move into other sectors is going to help us to develop the economy. So that's my thinking.
All right, welcome back. We're sorry for the breaking transmission. We're talking of the future of business in Africa. Dr. Courage, you please just take that in the next 2-3 minutes and let's wrap that up.
Good. Like I said, Africa as a continent is an emerging continent, emerging economy. That means they are moving from developing nation to a developed nation. And if you look at it, means it's investment heaven. Whatever you are investing in Africa, you are sure of good return on investment. So that's where it works. So it's a good place to invest, but it depends on the area you want to invest in Africa. Yeah.
It's all right. Now, we have also gotten reports about some immigrants, okay, having to maybe stay in a particular country in the diaspora, okay, just to get the nationality. That at the end of the day, once they've gotten that, they tend to move to other states or countries, hoping it will be better for them in terms of business. Okay, now, is there any relevance to them?
Well, movement. Where are they living? If they stay in a place, they cannot move into the main, what we call mainstream job. Like somebody studied. We have a lot of friends, they studied there, they did IT. They couldn't get a job within that sector. They applied, they will get a better offer, maybe in the UK, in Canada, or America. I cannot ask them to stay. They have to move. One reason. Number two, a lot may have families, right? And they want their children maybe to grow up in a different context. What do? They have to move. They have a lot of reasons. But the point is, yes, it will have effects on the country they are living, and it's going to be a plus to the country they are living. But the point is, why are you moving? Why are you moving? If you are moving because you want to have a better job, like what we call brain drain in Africa, is a good one. Because you can't go through the pains to go and study. At the end of the day, what you studied, you cannot actually use them in your country. Doesn't make any sense. So I think it's reason. I mean, they have reasons to leave. You know. Yeah.
It's all right. Now, doing business in Africa again. Now, some people are the opinion that it is better they form a union. Okay, that it will be much more profitable if unions are formed. Okay, and then it will make businesses more viable. What is your take on this?
Well, if they have a union, it makes sense. It all depends on the articles, the law bringing a union together. We have the EU right here. All the nations, they are not as strong as Germany, but they have laws guide them. I will insist, If Africa can do that, it is going to be a plus for us. They can trade freely within themselves. They can be thinking of maybe how to have a common currency instead of depending on the American dollars. Okay? We can actually have a currency we use in Africa to trade within us and keep on growing. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Yeah, I always encourage that. Let us trade within Africa. If we have surplus, then we'll send to them. That's the way it works. Yeah.
All right, I actually want us to revisit this again. Now, for someone that has spent years in diaspora, okay, I want to go into one particular business or the other. I really want you to advise such a person, which is more profitable, establish a business in the diaspora or bringing the business back home in Africa?
Well, it all depends on the business you want to do. There are some I will ask you stay in diaspora, develop yourself. Then the one you are bringing to Africa, it all depends on the environment in Africa. If the environment is not stable, because you're looking at, okay, let's put it this way, business or investments. If you are thinking of business or investments, what comes to your mind is secured investments. Investment that you have a reasonable return on investments. If those questions are not answered, you have issues investing. The way Africa is today, there are areas you can go to. If you are thinking of agriculture, fine. Aside from investment anyway, I always tell them, what insurance do you have against your investments? Okay, so if you can answer those questions, you're on the right track. Let's look at a company, for example. If you are thinking of buying a share from X company, I will ask you, check their financial statements the last 10 years. Do comparison against the industry average. Once you are done with that, I will now ask you, okay, go check what insures their investments. Because the company you are buying shares from, you have a company insuring their investments. I will tell you, there are insurance companies today, they will insure tsunami, they will insure earthquake. If such company back up such investment, I think it's guaranteed. So we have a lot we look into before you start thinking of investing either in diaspora or going back to your country. So the area has a lot to play out.
How about the aspect or the angle of family interferences? Because some persons would like to come back home and establish a business and then leave it in the hands of family members and all that. Is it advisable?
It is not. Well, let's put it this way. The family member you are trying to partner with, her passion matters a lot. If he or she understands the business, if you are looking at IT, for example, you want to set up a structure whereby you can go to servicing here and there. If your family member don't have idea about this sector, it is wrong. We call that nepotism, favoritism. You are picking a family member because you don't want family issues, instead of picking somebody who's an expert in the field. So when it comes to family business, that's my area. These are issues always guide them. If you are thinking of employment, yes, family needs, their value is so important, but the business needs, goals, you look for a way to blend them. If you can, it's going to help you. My take is this: if you want to establish a business in Africa, run the business. Nobody can be passionate about your goal more than you. When you start, begin to think of transition. You don't just bring people in, you train them to fit into the system. That's what we do in family business, transition issues, successions, management, governance here and there. We have a lot we do under that angle. But my take is that you start your business, clear the goals, objective, then train the family member to be a part of the business. Don't give to them. Yeah.
All right. In a situation where he is not, the person in diaspora is not on ground to train the family member, what do you advocate for that?
If the person is not on ground, we have consultants over there. You can talk to them. You help to train family members, train them to be part of the business. But there is no way you can just throw a business off. Go to Nigeria, go to Ghana, you want to start a business online, then they should take them through. You don't do it that way. You need to train them. We have what you call entrepreneurial mindsets. You need to train them. As the business begins to move, they do a lot of coaching sessions. Of course, that's what we do in our human resources development, human capital development. We build them, fit into what you want to, because you have your targets. You have goals. Yeah.
All right. And I want to believe that before somebody can take on the task of training someone else, he or she has to be has to have an idea about the training he or she is giving out. Okay. Now, what happens in a case where the person that wants to even start the business in the first place has no knowledge to pass on to the person running the business for him or her?
Do that. You cannot have knowledge in all areas. I'm into entrepreneurship and family business, right? I'm not a pharmacist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an engineer, right? But we have networks. We have network. We have people with credentials you can work with. We have people who understand the ethics of their business. What you do, you bring them in. They help you. I may not be in Nigeria. If I have legal issues I need to do, I know lawyers I have to call, and they will do a good job. So your network matters a lot. I'm not into the aviation business, but if you have issues that borders on aviation, either in Europe or in Africa, any continent, I have friends I know they are good in that sector. They will just ask them to do the right thing. Insurance, same thing. I'm not insurance, what they call it. But if you have insurance here and there, I say, okay, you call this person, they will help you. That's networking. You network here.
All right, and I guess you know that's what Clevenard is for. You've seen our website, and you know one or two things about Clevenard itself having to be or come as a matchmaker. When you say matchmaker, interfacing the diaspora with the African markets. Yeah. So how do you think that you can make or a typical African can make use of the business matchmaker of Clevenard?
What we'll do is this. Yes. Clevenard has a very great platform.
Did you get that?
Yes, Clevenard has a very interesting platform. What we can do is that we just need to direct traffic to Clevenard. And once people start coming, you'll see that it's going to be interesting. If you look at Amazon today, Amazon has an interesting platform. Amazon has an interesting platform, but Amazon is not Amazon overnight. It's just steps. So I'm seeing Clevenard in this direction. We'll direct traffic, and at the end of the day, you see that it's going to be people who begin to, the various offer Clevenard will give to them. They will make use of it. So that's it. All
right, you're welcome back, and thank you so much, Dr. Courage Ijeda. Thank you for giving us on your time, your ideas, and one or two things you've learned in businesses, and you are trying to impact the youth and then the audience of today's society. Thank you so much once again. So audience, thank you for staying tuned with us, and till next week when we come your way with another brainstorming section on my opinion. Is a bye from here. Bye.